need it, but if you would like to have one, I recommend getting it. And we are here. We are on for our yoga class today, 45 minutes of yoga flow. I'm Amy L. We're at Vibe Vault Fit. It is warm out there today on the day we're recording this, so just a loving reminder to drink water. If you take any supplements or any medications, they can dehydrate you as well, so maybe drink a little bit of extra water and just take care of your pets. Even if they want to go outside, keep them in. But when you're ready, we'll begin in a comfortable seat. That might be legs crossed, that might be any other way. If the back or any part of the body feels a little crunchy or like a traditional seat isn't serving it, you might take one block, maybe two, make yourself a little throne to sit upon. And sometimes that just invites a little bit of support for the hips, the low spine, wherever you might need that little bit of cushioning today. So again, taking a moment to arrive in your time, maybe closing the eyes or letting the gaze soften down to just a small point in front of you. And feeling the sit bones as they settle into the earth, the mat, the blocks. Feeling the spine grow long, the crown grow tall. And letting the shoulders softly drop away from the ears if they are lifting up. Take a moment, honor any natural movements that your body might need to settle into the space, to let go of anything outside the four corners of your mat, the four corners of the walls that we're within. Emptying the lungs on the next exhale as you find it, and then maybe inviting a little bit of imagery into the next inhale. Like you're drawing a line from the floor to the ceiling with a little bit of a marker. Trace that with your inhale breath. And trace it back down with the exhale breath. It doesn't matter how tall the line is, how vibrant it is in your mind's eye. Allow it to be a tool to connect to each piece of each breath. And knowing that you can stay with this gentle inhale and exhale as it is. If you'd like to invite a slightly more cooling breath, what we'll do is take a breath in through the nose, mouth sealed. And then like you're blowing out a birthday candle, make a small opening with the mouth and let the exhale release through that. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling to gently blow out your candle. Taking that twice more on your own. And reminding yourself that what I'm offering up here is just an invitation. You can take what you need with your own guidance at any point. So maybe you draw an intention into mind, a word, a phrase, maybe an image or idea. And let it draw a little bit closer to your heart with each and every breath. Inviting the shoulders to lift and maybe start to circle. Forward or back, whichever direction you prefer. We'll take about 5 each way. And same thing, these can be as big or as small. You can get the whole arm involved or just stay with a little lift of each shoulder. Reversing the direction in your time. Taking what is feeling like it's serving you, leaving or adjusting what isn't serving you. There's so much value in every variation, so let yours shine through today. When you're ready, we come back to center. And maybe choose to send the fingertips to the sides. The palms can be slightly face down. You can let them touch the floor, or if the hips are elevated, you might just let them hover. And you can play with the facing of the palms. Maybe they shine forward or down to the mat. Maybe you wiggle the fingertips or roll the wrists if it feels helpful. So with our arms extended, we're going to tend to the neck a little bit. Be kind, be patient, and take what works for you. But we'll find a moment of stillness with the palms facing our choice of direction. Taking a breath in to lift a little bit through the center of your heart, and as you exhale, lean one ear over one shoulder. The depth of the movement is not the goal. The stretch on the opposite side is. So if at any time you care to place arms down, if it feels too intense, please do. But feel the inhale expand space, and feel the exhale slowly release any tension you're holding. It'll take more than one breath to get everything out, usually. So again, find the patience for one more inhale. Stay for your exhale. You can come back to center, adjusting the arms, maybe giving the shoulders and chest a break before we go to the other side. Any counter movements, any other things you'd like to choose, we find them here. And again, extending arms in our time, finding it tall, inhale, breath, and exhale, leans head or ear to the side. And again, noticing if we're working for the length, we're working for the performance of the posture. Lean more into the internal feeling, not the external expression. Breath will guide you. When it gets short and tight and constricted, that's usually a sign to step back. But when we can breathe steady and equally as best we can, we're usually in the space that serves us today. So finish the round of breath you're on. Again, puffing up with the breath in, diffusing with the breath out. We'll come back up to center, maybe inviting arms to rise all the way. Your gaze can follow the hands. Your exhale might bow the chin to your chest, the hands to your heart, and we might take that twice more. Imagining your energy reaching out of the fingertips, encompassing you in your intention, sealing it once more at the heart. Take one final breath in. As you stay here, we're going to bend the elbows and kind of like they're glued together. The forearms don't have to melt, the palms might. Do what serves you here. We're going to come into some soft cactus twisting. So as you inhale, we'll stay center. And as you exhale, just the right hand or whatever hand you're starting with is going to open. Your gaze, your heart will peel and follow. We'll inhale to come back to center, melt two arms or hands together. And again, exhale, turn the other way, just a little gentle opening. It doesn't have to be your biggest twist. So we'll do that twice more each side, finding your pace, finding your rhythm, honoring your breath pattern, letting it adjust as you might seek it to be or want it to be. And as you come back to center, find a breath. Eventually we'll inhale, take the arms up. If it serves you today, we'll exhale, maybe start to bow forward. And if you're on the blocks or lifted in your hips, you can soften the fingertips in front of you. And even if you're not, you can still do the same. Just take a moment, and instead of thinking of greatly rounding the body, what if we kept the spine, the chest a little tall, a little proud, maybe the sit bones a little bit anchored to the mat? You might use the blocks to lift the floor and let it come a little bit closer to you. But ultimately, checking in with the breath, leaving what is not serving you, honoring what is, and maybe letting yourself turn up the volume on that today. As you are ready to, we're shifting towards a tabletop pose. If the wrists are tender at all, you might take a moment and just maybe flex them forward or back, or maybe take some wrist circles. Again, honoring what is ever speaking to you, tending to the sore spots, the tighter places, maybe even the darker spaces of the mind, the body, or the heart. When you're ready, on this transition to hands and knees, you can take anything that might feel good for you. Perhaps that's a downward dog, perhaps that's a child's pose. Perhaps it's a moment to be still in your tabletop. There's no right, no wrong. Finding that simple task of honoring, which is not always so simple. So for 2 more breaths or so, you can continue choosing what you're choosing. And maybe after the last inhale and exhale, we'll slowly let our shoulders stack over hands and wrists. The knees guide to about underneath the hip points. We'll let the spine be nice and long with the crown shining forward, the tailbone shining back, a little lift of the belly into the spine, and a strong press of the palms as they find the earth underneath it. Gently inhaling, we'll take our cat and cow, roll the shoulder blades back, little lift of heart, little lift of gaze. We're not crunching the back of the neck, but simply looking up. And as you exhale, we will reverse that shape, tucking the tailbone, rippling through the spine. Shoulder blades separate as the chin draws in and the crown shines down. So breathe with your pace of breath. We'll inhale to come forward into cow. Exhale reverses us into cat. And you are welcome to stay in this gentle forward and back motion. If you'd like to find a little bit of organic movement, you might sway the hips or the shoulders, still taking the little arc and bow of the spine, or letting yourself find just a different way of stirring the hips or the shoulders, maybe the torso. Let the breath be a flashlight that slowly shines its awareness into the places you might not be that aware of. We have what's obvious to us, but we also have what's not so obvious. So maybe the practice is shining a light on those things for you today. Taking your time for another 2 breaths, longer if you'd like. We'll gently come back to stillness, maybe in tabletop, maybe in child's pose. When you would like to prepare to step the right foot forward, you can do so in whatever way works for you, or maybe let the hips come over the heels. Walk 2 hands slightly to the left side. Trust weight in your left shin, and we'll step the right foot forward, assisting ankle up with the hand as we need. Your feet are on 2 separate lines. Always bring blocks to frame the foot, or we'll walk our hands up as we press into the front heel. And taking the arms together like we did earlier, we'll offer a little bit of movement in hips and heart. So as we inhale, we're peeling the arms open, lifting the heart up. And as we exhale, we're drawing together, finding that hollow front body, arching back body. This can challenge your balance, so you might widen this stance of the feet left to right, and when you would like to, just taking a moment and continuing to move with your breath, Finding an inhale once more, and an exhale to round. We'll come back to a neutral spine on that final breath in with our cactus arms nice and tall. So as you take your next round of breath, when you find it, you might let the arms reach up, you might let the heart reach up, the gaze reach up. And as you exhale, the hands circle down and around to your blocks, to the floor. Before we come back to the other side, I'll offer you a moment to straighten front leg. You can inch your left knee back. You can straighten the right leg or invite it towards straight. And if the stillness of the posture is causing tightness in breath, let's take a little dynamic movement, almost like you're stirring a pot with the thigh bone, and just letting the right leg, the right hip, soften with each piece of movement, each piece of breath, each piece of stillness, if that's what you're choosing. One more inhale, one more exhale, taking your time as you find yours today. And the next time the right foot or front foot comes down, we might take a moment, lift the right hand, let it come inside the right arch, press into 2 hands, 2 blocks, your left shin. We'll swing the right leg around, maybe take a child's pose or a downward dog, or just a moment to simply notice the side of the body we just did, the side of the body we have yet to do, and the subtle difference between each. When you're ready to rise, we inhale again, finding our tabletop, maybe walking hands slightly to your right-hand side, trusting the right shin as you step the left foot forward, and framing the foot with your hands. Take a moment, find your support. We'll rise nice and tall, lifting the arms. The hands can soften and bow in front. And again, trying for a moment, just an inhale to open the heart, peel the body. As you exhale, you soften and round. If we feel unstable, we widen a little bit of the left foot to the left. And we continue here, offering the option to sink the hips with the breath. Noticing what this side might have that the other side didn't, or vice versa. And not judging it, but just taking it into consideration, using your awareness to work with it, not against it. For maybe one more round of breath. And as we come forward, we'll rise, neutral spine, keep the arms nice and tall, inhaling them up to the sky when you're ready. Feeling that little lift of heart, of gaze, maybe a little extra stretch in that front or back hip flexor. And on your next exhale, we slowly release the hands, bow down from the hips, start to straighten the left leg, knowing you can make space with the right knee as you need to. You can walk the hands forward or back as you need to. Take a breath, let yourself notice, decide to add movement or stay still. You can try one, go back to the other. This is your time and space to be creative, to explore, to maybe have that childlike sense of freedom, of non-judgment. How often do we do that in our adult lives day to day? Let the practice, let the mat be a place to do just that. No judgment, nobody's watching you, I promise. I'll be checking in to make sure we're doing things safely, but this is all for you. So the next time left foot comes down, maybe stay. Maybe two hands come inside. We trust the hands, the block, swing left foot around. Take a moment, reach into a deep child's pose. You can keep the knees together, or you can take the knees mat's width apart and let the body have a little bit more space to land between each thigh bone. So as you rest for about 5 breaths here, the inhale come through the nose. The exhale can come through the nose. The hips are heavy to the heels. Your heart is supported by the mat. And you're welcome to remain where you are, or slowly maybe let the hands find a slight bit of width about mat's width. We're just gonna bring our body forward and slide into a prone position. You can come down in a little modified push-up if you'd like. But we'll take a breath to let the hands find their space underneath the shoulders. So let the tailbone reach a little bit to the heels so that our pubic bone is almost like reaching towards our chest. And on the next inhale, the elbows slide behind you like there's energy shooting out of them. The heart lifts a little bit. We take a strong inhale here. Your exhale glides you down. Let the crown shoot forward, lots of space in the back of your neck. Like you're drawing a line from the floor to the ceiling with your nose. The elbows stay to the sides. We inhale back up to our cobra. And exhale to soften back down. One more time, your breath, your pace. It's not about how tall you can be, but how strong the spine is, how long you can feel within the spine. We'll exhale to come down. Release the arms out to the side for a moment, maybe palms face down. You can bend at the elbows like we did in those lunges earlier. Maybe turn one cheek to the mat. Stay here if this is feeling good, or slowly soften the elbows to where the hands just were as we prepare to find Sphinx pose. The hips will still stay grounded. Letting yourself breathe wherever you are. If you are in Sphinx, imagine pulling the heart slightly forward. The tailbone is still gently shining to the wall behind you. If we're in our prone crocodile pose, we're resting, we're feeling the breath as it softens against the mat. Taking one more cycle wherever you are. If you were in Sphinx pose, you might soften back to that crocodile pose with the arms out or maybe the hands under the forehead. Taking a moment to breathe, maybe kick the feet up and have just a little fun with the quads, letting the feet kick forward or back or side to side, and feel the front of the thigh get gently massaged between the floor and this movement. If it doesn't feel good, we leave it. If it does, we keep it for another breath. And from here, we have the option to slowly transition to downward dog. You might bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You can soften back to child's pose. You can stay in the spot you're in. If you're lifting the hips away from the mat, letting them reach to the space where the wall and ceiling meet behind you, great. The hands will be about shoulders width apart. The knees will be bent. We won't be worried about letting the heels find the earth, but we might let gravity pedal them 1 foot at a time, maybe bending the knees one at a time, shortening the stance by walking hands a little bit closer to the toes if that feels supportive. We don't have to be as long as possible here. We want to find that even support in legs and arms and hands. Slowing the pedal of the feet, that movement entirely as you melt into your last exhale. And then depending on what's feeling right for your body today, we'll come to standing forward. You might walk feet to hands or hands to feet. Let the knees bend generously. We don't have to worry about touching the floor here. We might consider hinging at the hips. Let the arms dangle or clasp at the elbow. Nod the head yes or no as you empty the lungs in your time. Maybe allowing that following inhale to let the fingertips release to toes. Breathe them up the shins. Find your halfway lift for a breath in. Sometimes airplane arms is nice to lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, touch down to the earth. One time, we'll slowly rise nice and tall to our mountain pose, scooping arms up, taking a big breath of intention, and as you exhale, drawing the hands back down. Take that twice more. Your feet root, your knees bend, you rise a little bit taller with each inhale. Come a little bit closer to your intention with each exhale. Last time, feel your roots reach down, your fingertips have energy, again, encompassing you here. Leave the arms up, and as you exhale, we will release the right hand down, take a side body stretch. Depending on how the neck feels, what it looks like, it's about how it feels within. If it feels comfortable to close the eyes, please do, and if not, we will leave them open. But taking one more breath as you evenly press to 2 feet. Again, maybe a little bit more weight in the right foot as you slowly inhale to rise up. As you exhale, take a big breath. We'll slowly soften right back down. And it doesn't have to be a clean transition, but our hands will come forward. We'll walk our feet back. You do not have to take a chaturanga unless you want to. We can soften the knees down and find that gentle breath to bring us back to the belly, back to a single cobra pose if you'd like it. Soften all the way down. Take a moment in your crocodile, arms to the side or hands make a pillow for your forehead. Take a big breath in and out, letting yourself stay here. Or again, the hands come to the side. We shift back to a tabletop or a child's pose if our spine would like that. And we'll come back to something similar to what we did earlier, setting up in our tabletop to walk 2 hands to the right side first, and we'll bring our left foot forward. So once more, it doesn't have to be a perfect transition, it just has to be yours. And then from this lunge, we're going to come into a supported warrior 2. Your right knee, your back knee is going to swing, and almost like you're opening up to the side. Your front foot's going to be facing short side, your back knee is going to be facing long side. In like warrior 2, you could think about lining up heel to knee instead of heel to foot. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. So as you're here, you might take hands to hips. You can let the heart come to the side, or if it feels comfortable to be on that slight catty corner, you can do that. But we'll take a breath in, maybe the arms come about shoulder height. We can look towards our front left hand if the left foot's forward. And when you would like to, we'll slowly soften and take a slow variation of side angle, a softer variation of side angle. Forearms at the thigh, but know that you can reach down if you want a little bit more depth. But again, only if that depth is honoring the experience within. Let go of the ego, tune into the soul or the spirit or the heart, whatever language you prefer. And we'll finish the exhale as it comes to our practice, letting the next inhale bring you up through warrior 2. You might let the hand come to hip and just gently carry the front arm up. And on your next exhale, again, we find that softness to carry us through. This time, as we inhale to come back, you can think about maybe arcing or rainbowing the hands down. If the floor feels really far away, we'll take 2 blocks or 1 block and let that lift our hand up. You can straighten the leg here if you'd like to, and let this be a nice variation of side plank, letting overhead or to ceiling. Take a big breath in. We'll come through one more time, bending the knee, finding that soft reach to side angle. And last time to bring it back. Your choice, what you want to do with that front leg. If you want to keep it bent, if you want to let it straighten, if you care to lift the toes, it can be a nice variation. There's value in every one. So which one's shining through for you today? Can you listen to it? Can you honor it? Can you turn up the light on what that is? Your final exhale is going to bend your knee. It's going to take the hands back to wherever you want to go, whether that's here. We'll crawl everything to return to a lunge. If your blocks are behind you, we'll just set them to the side. But before we come back to our starting shape, you can again soften back into half split. If you would care to let this become a little evolved from the first thing we did, you can lift your back knee and pull the leg towards straight. Let the left hip shine back. And again, you can peel the toes up if it serves you to. You can have blocks on under either hand if it serves you to. And you can find that dynamic movement through the posture if the stillness is clenching the breath. Feeling the line of energy with each inhale from the heel to the hip, maybe from the tailbone to the crown. Notice where it's shining for you today. And on the last exhale, if the leg is straightened, we'll invite it to come to bend. We'll invite the right hand to find the earth and just peeling the left arm up to finish it out with a twisted lunge. Your back knee can come down if it's helpful. You can place a block under your right hand if it's helpful. Imagine turning your bottom shoulder out like you're opening a jar to help open the heart and avoid the chest from collapsing in on itself. Take your final inhale. Arm softens down with your exhale. If there's anything your body might like before we come back to tabletop, please let yourself find that variation. Otherwise, you'll soften 2 hands inside, lean a little bit to the right to swing the left leg around. Take a breath in table, child, or downward dog. Let yourself have a moment to notice. And as you're ready to rise to the other side, I'll flip so you can see me. We'll come into our tabletop posture. Maybe walk hands a step to the left and invite the right foot to come up. And same thing, taking a moment, we'll turn the left toes, left knee to find that little bit of preparation for our warrior 2, our grounded warrior 2. The arms can fly out when they're ready to. Take a moment as you feel your head, your heart, your hips, your strength, and softening forward, forearm to thigh, back arm rises. Maybe we stay here, maybe we extend down. And on the next inhale breath, let it softly float the hands back through warrior 2, maybe hand to hip as you lift the front arm up. And letting your breath carry you forward once again. Let your pattern, your energy, find the pace that serves you today. Maybe you're holding a few breaths in one position over the other. And again, we can stay with this slightly lifted variation or offer the block if you would like the floor a little bit closer to serve you the next time you inhale, open up. Maybe let the front leg, right leg straighten, and you find that deeper side body stretch. Honoring the fact that just because you did it on one side doesn't mean it will always serve you to do it on the other. So letting go of any comparison, any judgment, and again, just tuning into what feels like yes. Flowing through one more round of breath as you might like. Using that last reach back to lift the toes if you care to come forward. You can arc and swim through, or if you'd like, we'll come back through that warrior 2 shape. Maybe let the hands find the sides softly and slowly, and we'll gently turn our hips, our heart, our toes back to the front of the mat. Same thing here. You can take that grounded half split with back knee on the earth, or play with tucking left toes as you lift the back knee, and maybe straighten the front leg that way. Little shifts can make really big differences. So invite the breath to be the guide that helps you decipher what is and is not a yes for you today. Staying with the half split stretch, or inviting the right foot, the front foot, to release back to the mat. You can leave left hand on the block or on the floor, and pressing down to inhale, open up your other arm to the sky. Inhale here, know your options. You can soften the back knee down. You can still get a similar sensation, a similar product of your choice. And again, just finding that little bit of jar opening in your bottom shoulder to keep the heart open, the chest proud. We'll exhale, bring the right hand down in your time. Anything you need before you come back to tabletop is your choice. You can again step back as you are, or bring 2 hands inside front foot. Let that be what allows the right leg to come back without any constrictions. And as you take your child's pose, you might choose downward dog, you might come back to crocodile. Taking your time, your breath, to be as you are in stillness, or to flow in any way that your practice is asking you to honor. Again, finding that freedom to be like a child that doesn't care what anybody thinks, that just wants to explore the thought that comes next. What would it be like to step here or have an extra breath there? Beautiful. If there's anything you're doing on one side, letting yourself have as much time, as much space as you need for the other. And if maybe you are seeking a little bit of guidance for the free to flow here, you might just choose to thread the arm if you're in child's pose. Let the right fingertip soften under the left arm, maybe right shoulder and right cheek soften down. Again, just if you need some inspiration, there are days where our brain just cannot make another choice, and that's okay. We honor it all here on the mat and take the lessons that we learn with us off the mat where we can. If you're threading the arm, you might finish the breath you're on and slowly inhale, begin to gently switch sides. Knowing that if you are threading the arms and the hips back in child's pose feels constrictive, you can do this from a tabletop stance if that gives your hips or low back a little bit more space. What feels spacious one day might feel a little contentious another day, so again, honor what's here now, not what was here yesterday, not what we wish might be there tomorrow. And if you're in the threading, we'll take another breath there. If you're in your choice, we'll take another breath there. And from here, we'll slowly begin to transition, maybe back to a seat for a moment, but ultimately preparing to come down onto the spine. If you'd like to let the legs go long or find a butterfly pose or anything that the practice, your body, your mind or heart is asking for, let that be what we listen to here. And again, if we need inspiration, if we can't make another choice, that's okay. Let's take a forward fold, letting the arms rise. The knees don't have to be straight here. So again, if this feels like a lot, you might let them come wide. You might let the hands reach for the outside edges of the feet, or even find a little elbow to wrist action underneath the legs. If a forward fold is just not it today, you can still find the same bent knee option. Maybe the hands come behind and we'll just windshield wipe the legs instead. I offer the options just because I've lived in a lot of different bodies. I've lived in things that have worked really well and things that have not worked so well. So whatever's going on for you, I want you to have the option to care for yourself, to make the choice that really does serve you, not the thing that you think you should be doing. So I know it gets confusing once in a while, and I won't apologize for that, but take what you need, leave what you don't. 3 more breaths here. And when you're ready, finishing out whatever you're choosing. If you'd like to, you can come right down. If that feels like too much for the body, take a moment, sit right back up. We'll take an inhale to slowly prepare to come all the way down on the exhale. And as you come down, maybe slide that strap next to you if you care to use it. And there's no perfection here, just releasing the spine down. Legs might stay bent, they might go straight. The arms can do what feels nice for you. And as we come into this new place of support, your whole spine is on the earth now. Let the shoulders wiggle, let the hips wiggle, maybe the ankles or the toes. Taking one more inhale as you arrive to this position. And an exhale to know you can adjust it as you need to. We will hug the right leg in when you're ready. And give it a little squeeze if it feels good, hands over shins or under the hamstring. Using the strap today, this is where you might reach for it. You don't have to use it. You can still find a similar experience by just extending the leg to the sky. But if extending without the strap feels like a lot, it sometimes is, we'll let the strap float over the arch or the ball of the foot, supporting it with either hand on either side. And again, we can bend the knee and slowly straighten it, finding that little bit of movement with breath, or let the leg be still as we extend it to the ceiling, and still breathing, still imagining the inhale sipping up from the earth, up through the hip, up to the heel, and exhaling, slowly just dissolving what we don't need from the heel to the hip to the floor. Remain here if you'd like, or invite a little tick-tock of the leg left to right. It doesn't have to float too much, although it can. And notice where you feel that deeper sensation. Maybe pause there if it feels welcome. Breathe there where you can. If you can't, we'll take a step back. A few more breaths here. If this feels like a lot, you can release the strap whenever you like. Let yourself come into figure 4 for a little counter pose when you're ready. Allowing the right ankle to rest over the left thigh as the left leg bends to support. You are welcome to leave the left foot down. You're also welcome to let it float in towards yourself. One, is that better or worse? So land in the space where you can breathe fully and truly and deeply. Taking maybe one more round of breath, possibly 2. And after that final breath, letting the leg unravel. Maybe it re-extends just for a moment to the ceiling, to point the toes, to move through the arch of the foot, the ankle, or anything else. And we'll set 2 legs down, maybe legs long if that's available. And again, just observing the subtle difference between the leg we've just worked with, the leg we have yet to do. Finding an inhale and an exhale to let it all go. And catching your left knee inward when you're ready, finding that gentle squeeze to heart. Maybe a little rock left to right. Maybe remaining still. Reconnecting to the breath through it all. And if it's on this side for you today, we'll slowly start to extend the heel up. Maybe invite the strap to support the foot. Feeling the left side hip get heavy into the mat. As you again choose to bend and extend the knee as much or as little as you need. To be with the leg lengthened in stillness. To sip the air from the earth into your body, up the hip, up to the heel. And like a French press coffee, keeping what you want, getting rid of what you don't. Staying in center or letting that leg soften a little bit left to right. Knowing that this can be a very intense stretch for the outside line of the leg. So if that's just too much, come right away into figure 4. If not, we'll take another breath here. And take that transition to cross left ankle over right thigh when you're ready to, if you're ready to. We're not forcing anything here. So letting the knee be where it ends up being. Maybe drawing the right thigh bone in towards the heart. And if there's any tenderness in the left knee or the knee area, give your left foot a gentle flex to help protect it. Choosing to keep the right leg in or set the foot back down for your last 2 breaths. And when you're ready to unravel, doing so slowly, mindfully, gently in your time. Maybe you let 2 feet line up at the big toes and center, and we let the knees soften out into a reclined butterfly pose. If you have the blocks, you can always put them underneath the thighs or underneath the knees for a little support. If you don't have them, you can always slide the hands just underneath the glutes, and that can also give the body a little support. But ultimately allowing the breath to start to slow down, to maybe even come back to that candle breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling gently out the mouth. If butterfly pose feels like it's not serving you, please take any other shape. If there's any other movements your practice is asking for, I invite you to take them here, but also knowing that what you've done today is enough. So if you are ready to rest, you can take that as you are. You can adjust the position that might serve you better for that rest. Knowing that even as you choose your final shape, you are not glued there. If you need to itch your nose, you can itch your nose. If you need to adjust your positioning, you can adjust your positioning. So on the next inhale, gather up all the things you no longer need. Exhale as you keep the things you do need, and just let yourself find your practice here. Maybe their dress is a little wrinkled and hair always out of place. Maybe they don't need to seek perfection to live life with grace. Maybe some days it seems the sun has swallowed her with a smile. Maybe other days they allow ourselves to fall apart for a while. Maybe some moments they enjoy the sweetness of doing nothing, and maybe other moments they race towards their own dreams until they can touch them. Maybe they understand the never-ending lesson of being human. And maybe they understand a seed planted in darkness before it begins blooming. Maybe they know all of the love life can give. But ultimately, we all know that a life without love is not one that has been lived. So as you land here with these last few breaths, tuning back into the intention that maybe you set itself, You might bring one hand to the heart and the other hand on top as you slowly take this last moment in your rest before inviting some gentle movement back into the body. Rolling through fingers or wrists, bending the knees or the elbows in any way that feels gentle and awakening for you. You might roll to left or right side when you are ready to rise. It'll just help keep your blood, help keep that nice relaxed feeling in play. And as you're ready to shift back to a seat, join me only in your time. We'll close out for the recording with our last 2 breaths. And you might inhale the arms up to reach for the words that guided you today. Take an exhale as they land in your heart. And honoring our practice for ourselves and each other as thumbs come to third eye, we bow with gratitude. Namaste. I thank you all for sharing your space and your practice with me today. It was lovely to have you here or at home. My name is Amy, and I will see you soon. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. That wasn't too